my name is Kit. I am a copywriter and web product coordinator for Farmgirl Flowers. And today I'm going to show you a little denim DIY. And we're doing these DIYs to celebrate our collaboration with Levi's jeans. Christina, who's our founder and CEO, started Farmgirl Flowers. She started wrapping bouquets in burlap. And because in the Bay Area there's tons of coffee roasters, it was a readily available material that we could upcycle as a fun wrap for our bouquets. But Christina always wanted to wrap her bouquets in something besides the burlap, and Levi's denim was at the top of that wish list of companies that she wanted to work with, and we finally made the collaboration happen. Upcycling and sustainability in general is an important value at Farmgirl. With our burlap, it's an upcycled product that we're able, we get it from the coffee roasters, and we're able to give it a second life as a bouquet wrap, and then it's also compostable after that, where our customers use it in lots of other fun ways. So this is new material from Levi's, and we just want to kind of continue in that spirit and show you a few ways you could reuse it as something fun for your home. Upcycling is important because there's a lot of, as with many industries, a lot of waste that's kind of endemic to the floral industry. Plastics, or single-use plastics, being a pretty serious culprit in flowers. So by using burlap and now denim, we're able to reduce that by a large amount every year. And just with the burlap has many lives. It's first for coffee, and then for bouquets, and then hopefully in your compost pile. We want to show you how to give this denim a second life as something very useful. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vase wrap. And we're making vase wraps because we, like many of you at home, have a few vases in our stable, and sometimes it's nice just to be able to mix things up. So a temporary cover is a nice way to make that happen. Also, if it's a glass vase, you can start to see some of the stems start to get a little murky and the water gets a little bit funky looking, and although that's a good sign, you should probably change it and give those stems a fresh trim. This is a nice way to disguise that temporarily. So we're going to show you how to make one of these little vase covers today. To make the vase cover, you're going to need a vase, your bouquet wrap, a piece of denim, some things to measure with. I'm going to use a T-square and a cutting mat. I'm using the cutting mat because I'm using a rotary cutter to cut out my material. If you don't have a mat or a rotary cutter, you can use scissors and make your marks with a ruler, just a plain ruler. And then to make the markings on the fabric, I'm going to use some chalk because it's in some tailor's chalk. You can get it out of the fabric pretty easily, or if you don't have that, you can use a marker. No sew tutorial. So to make the vase cover come together, I'm using some of this super fabric adhesive. Okay, so to get started, we're going to measure the vase on the piece of fabric on the outside of it. So I'm going to measure on the light side of the denim, so the markings will be hidden inside. So I'm going to put I want to fray the edge myself, so I'm going to have it wrap around. I'm going to not include the selvage edge of the fabric because I want to fray it myself. And I want it to match the dark blue of the fabric, and so fraying to the opposite edge of the selvage will give me that matchy fringe look. So I'm just using my vase as a guide. About an inch's worth of space, and that will give me this cute little melt block for where the two pieces come together, and that's also how we're able to make this window so tutorial, because there's enough space to glue this together. So I have my markings on my fabric about where I need to cut my vase. I'm just gonna measure once, cut twice here. I'm just gonna make sure this is where I want it to be. And I'll line up to cut. So now that we have our piece of denim cut, we're just gonna make sure it looks all right by wrapping it around our base. So make sure we measured correctly. And then there's enough room to glue together at the edges there. Looking pretty good here. For reference, I left about 1.5 inches beyond what was needed to wrap around my entire base. I would say that you can always take some away, you can add some. So if you're fumbling with that measurement, go a little long, and then you can cut it down once you see it on your base. So now that I know that it fits, I'm going to do a little bit of the distressing on the edge, and just to kind of give it, a little personality. So to make that happen, I'm using my seam ripper, but again, if you don't have one of those at home, you can use your safety pin. And so I'm just going in and I'm pulling out one thread at a time, and I'm fraying about 1/4 inch. And I'm just rinsing and repeating on the other side of this. Now we glue this thing together. So I'm going to take my super fabric adhesive and I'm going to apply a thin strip to one edge. And follow the instructions when you use this adhesive or whatever fabric adhesive you're using, because this one says to use on a well-ventilated area. It does sort of have that strong adhesive smell. And now I'm going to carefully try and attach the two edges together. Nailed it. So the two sides are meeting, and now I'm kind of just like closing a Ziploc bag, just running my fingers along the pieces where they meet. And then I'm just carefully making sure that the vase can still slide in and out of the wrap. Some adhesive may leak through, so I'm just trying to free that before it becomes a problem. Not too shabby. I think it looks pretty good. And of course, you want to let this dry for a couple hours too before you use it heavily. But this stuff does say you can run it through the washing machine after, so you're all good there. And our vase wrapping is done. Good work.